So we're now going to dive out to our command line and we're going to discover how we can build redundancy into our storage. And look at this, back at our glorious command line. But let's start by looking in our mdstat file. So this then holds the information about our currently configured RAID. And obviously we haven't configured anything as yet. Also, if we look at lsmod to list kernel modules and search for RAID, we don't have the RAID module or any of our RAID modules loaded. So we need to change this. And the way we change it is by creating a RAID device. So let's go ahead and use sudo mdadm. And then we can use the option ---- create. We're going to specify the verbose option so we can see information being echoed back to the screen. And we want to then create the device MD0. This is our dev mapper device that we are creating. The level of RAID that we want is mirroring. So whatever we write to disk 1, we're going to write to disk 2. We're going to be using a total of 2 gig of storage, 2 1 gig drives, but we're only going to have 1 gig of disk space available to us. But this gives us a high level of redundancy. We can specify the devices that we want to use, or at least the number of devices. So we're going to use 2, which is the minimum. But we can include extra devices or even have hot spares. So I'm going to have, I think it was loop 19 and loop 20. But obviously you'll be using the ones that show from your system. They may not be the same as mine. So we should be good to go with this. So when you're ready, hit the big enter key and we can see the results that come back. Now, of course, we just need to authenticate through to sudo. Now I'm getting a prompt here. The mdadmin system is saying that we're using the complete area on the disk, having not partitioned it up, which is okay, but it's not okay if we want to use it for a boot device. We don't, so I'm just typing in Y for yes. Now we can see the verbose switch gave me the information such as our size and defaulting to version and saying that it started. But if I go back now and look through my history, I can see the cat and proc mdstat, and we can see now that we have an active RAID 1 device. Both devices are up and running. That's part of that. But do you know, I think we should create a file system. Creating a file system is at least going to allow us to see how much space is available from our 2 gig of disk space. So let's use mcfs.xfs. We could use ext or xfs, but let's choose xfs here. We can move to the top of the screen so we can see it a little bit better, and we can format /dev/md0. So there you go. We have created our file system. Let's create a subdirectory that we can mount the device into. I'm just going to call it secure. Can't really think of a name, but that seems like a good name. I'm not going to worry about setting up the correct permissions. I'm just going to go through now and do a sudo mount. And let's go through and make sure that we can mount our MD0, so our RAID device, into the secure directory. Now, when I look at the disk space with df-h for the secure directory, I shouldn't be too surprised to see only 900 meg of space. I know we put in 2 gig, but we're mirroring, so we're providing a high level of fault tolerance here. And not only that, we should be able to go through and see when we look at our kernel modules with lsmod and search for anything containing the word RAID, is that we now have the RAID 1 module that is loaded. RAID 1 being our mirroring level of tolerance.